Oh, hello there. Zara Highhill here. Thanks for tuning in to the Dragon Between podcast, a 5th edition D&D story based on Keith Baker's steampunk land of Eberron. We release a new episode every week, so be sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever fine podcasts are made. Now, let's begin the adventure, but remember, sometimes the greatest adventures are the secrets that we keep within.
When the characters last met, the group had just finished defeating the Sharn Shunners, a local gang that had been terrorizing the Cliffside Ward for quite some time. Upon exiting, after thoroughly investigating the remainder of the tunnels and chambers within the hideout, the group exited out into the briny waters of the Hilt River, just along the dockside, about an hour away from Cliffside and the Greyflood district proper. The group then recollected the strange arcane device, this strange apparatus of Qualish that would be given to them for use by Grinda, and began to maneuver the device and attempt to head back to shore. That was cut short, though, from the sight of a large dragon through the darkness of the silt that was undulating upward from this massive creature's body moving throughout the water. The group made a quick decision to attempt to flee from the creature. Unfortunately, their device was too slow, and the dragon swam behind it, cupping it underneath and forcing it to the surface of the water. All was not lost, though, as the dragon turned out to be of a friendly sort, and identified himself as Zelopharn, a bronze dragon that lived within the Cliffside Harbor. After some pleasantries, the dragon wished the group farewell, and the group was able to make it back to Grinda's shop within the Greyflood district. Upon arriving in Mistshore and returning the device, the characters decided to attempt to reconnect with Renaer. Seeing as how it was so late in the evening, the group took a carriage and very quietly made their way back to Sharn's welcome. Upon arriving, the character were able to connect with Renaer and receive their prize, their reward for defeating the Shunners. It was then the group decided to take their rest for the evening and tend to their wounds. In the morning, the group all reconvened within the taproom section, enjoying a nice breakfast and watching the comings and goings of the early activity within the taproom. The group then decided that it would be a good idea to see if Renaer would offer them some more work, which he did in fact have something for them. A missive that had been delivered to the Order, to be delivered to a serious group. Upon opening the envelope, they were then told to discreetly find their way to a tower and hand this note to a gentleman or an individual at the tower to be led up to talk about some serious work. The group then spent some time traveling around the city, attempting to find appropriate shops to gather magical items and restock their items. After obtaining a brand new weapon, through some careful negotiation for their friend Ender, the party made their way to the tower, encountering a beggar who turned out to be a clever ruse of a guard standing at an iron gate at the base of the tower. The party then ascended to the upper sections of this tower, which terminated into a set of double doors that opened into a large greenhouse. Within, an elderly man named VR Malek greeted the group and said that he had something for them work that would make them very rich. But first, a test. The group was then tasked with subduing Horace, a large wild girallon which lived within the greenhouse. The older man then quietly closed the doors behind him, leaving the group standing within the greenhouse. Sounds of birds and other creatures all around them.
Look out.
What's the plan?
Plan?
And I will share a map with you guys. Which may or may not crash Fantasy Grounds.
What thing?
Subdue, does that mean, like, not kill?
Yeah, not very good at that.
Alright, well, I'm gonna wield my blade, and I'm going to turn my blade.
And could anyone speak with this thing?
And I'm gonna step in front of Eli immediately. She says, yes, something like that.
And do you think you could maybe talk this thing down? Get it to listen to us and...
She says that she'll try.
Okay, maybe start with that and then we'll just... If we gotta shoot it, then we will.
Let me look at any spells that allow her to talk to animals.
Within the greenhouse, which the roof itself is fairly tall, it's approximately, from best you can guess, it's approximately 40 feet tall. And many of the trees within here, which have very thick trunks, and some of them are thinner and more bunched together, reach up towards the center of the ceiling of the greenhouse. And you can see that just beyond Vior's work table, you see this copse of thick trees that are bunched together, just seem to be bundled a bit together in the center of the greenhouse. And as you're all standing here, you now start to hear this sort of a low growling noise and sort of like a hooting. And the trees are swaying. Somewhere you're hearing rustling very close, directly in front of you.
Do we see anything?
Yes, you see the tops of the trees, which are, some of them are shaking violently, as if there's movement happening above. And suddenly, a barrel comes flying from the top of one of the trees straight at Eli. Eli, make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm going to use my reaction to assist him.
Okay.
I'm going to try to put my shield in front of the barrel.
Well, let's
Or in front
see.
of Eli,
First off, let's see if you actually noticed it. Because this this is something that you wouldn't necessarily have time to react to.
Okay.
So make a perception check. Let's see if you're able to notice it.
Will my default perception suffice?
Nope. I know your default is super high. Oh yeah, you totally see.
That's
All of a
even
sudden, you just see the tree. You looking out. You're scanning the tops of the trees, and suddenly the trees open as if an aperture opening and closing immediately as you see a large wooden barrel come flying straight towards Eli. So you have a moment to take that. If you wish to stand in the way, you can push him aside and take that hit.
I'll push him.
You know, push him aside.
Impact.
Okay, let's see if he actually hits first off.
That's all that matters.
Okay, the barrel smashes into the ground directly between you and Eli as you push him away, out of the way. Let us all roll initiative.
Get out of the way, little guy.
Bum, bum, bum.
And Ender, you can roll for Ari if you like as well.
I did. I'm gonna hit it again. It's being really laggy. Okay, there it is. Being a little laggy today, I see.
Oh yeah, sorry. I rolled twice because it was lagging, but
Yeah.
We all have very similar. Oh, except for you. But not, well, depending on which one of those.
Okay, well, Lithana, it is your turn. You just
Right.
watched this massive barrel fly out from the treetops and smash in the place where Eli used to be. And you just watched as Eli gets pushed slightly out of the way.
I put out an arrow and knocked it in my. See anything in the trees?
You see a lot of movement. The trees are shaking.
Alright.
Tops of the
see-
trees are wildly. You just see this wild shaking from the boughs of the trees, almost as if there's a wind which is blowing. But there doesn't seem to be much airflow within this greenhouse. The air is hot and
I
sticky.
see the thing. As soon as I see the thing, I'm going to shoot it with my 3 attacks
Okay,
of my axe.
so you're holding your action.
Yes.
Okay. Eli, it is your turn. Your leg is a little bit wet from some sort of thick substance that come out of this barrel when it's splattered. It's this gooey substance which spread almost like glue. It's sort of like has this very hoppy smell to it. Remember, you guys, you have to use push to talk.
I forgot.
Just a reminder. I will remind you guys if I hear silence for more than a few seconds. I will remind you.
Should we all move channels?
I'm not used to push like that.
We can move.
do I
We
see
can
the-
move channels if need be, but I think for now we're gonna stay in this channel for this combat.
Alright. Do I see where it came from? The barrel that obviously from the trees, but do I see
You-
it through it?
You didn't see Jack. All you saw was Gunfurl pushing you out of the way, the barrel splatting, and you see the boughs of the trees which are violently moving back and forth.
I'm going.
This wall of vegetation, all of the boughs of the trees are currently moving.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
And to the corner. And
All right. Suddenly, Eli disappears in a blink, in a flash. Is that all you wish to do?
did you just turn me invisible?
I did. I did turn you
Okay,
invisible.
That's sweet. I'm not gonna lie. And I'll end my turn in the corner over. I showed you which corner, right?
Yep, I already moved you.
Cool. And I'll end my turn.
Okay. On Auri's turn, what does Auri do, Ender?
I pulling roots. As soon as she sees the enemy, jump out. She wants to try to entangle it, snare it.
Okay, so she's holding her action with a spell. Keep in mind she will lose that spell slot if she doesn't use her action before the end of the round.
Well, I suppose what I'll do instead then is, where did Eli move to? I don't see you.
Eli turned invisible. He was there for a few moments, directly ahead of you a little bit, and then suddenly, poof, he disappeared.
I pushed him into another plane of existence.
Okay, so when I'm readying this spell at the end of the turn order, like right now, I'm like, if it doesn't meet my criteria, screw it. I'm gonna entangle anyways. I'm gonna entangle everything right in front of us, right there.
Okay. All right. So within that cube. How tall is that entangle?
It's a 20-foot square starting from a point within range. For the duration, these plants turn the terrain into difficult terrain. A creature in the area when you cast a spell must yada yada.
Okay, so basically it's just making the ground. I was just asking how tall that is. Does it create vines that go up a certain amount?
No, just the ground.
Okay, good to know. Is that the end of Auri's turn?
Then I can, as a free action, I can turn her into something, right? I'm going to turn her into a...
Gotta hold the button down. Gotta hold the button down longer when you're talking.
Right on, sorry. I'm going to...
Yeah, you keep cutting in and out.
I don't know why that is.
I don't know either. But we definitely need to stop using this chat, apparently.
Alright. Did you not hear me at all there?
I didn't hear anything. All I heard is, I'm going to turn her, and then that's it.
Alright. I'm going to turn her into a bear.
Okay.
And then I'm set. I'm done. Sorry about that. My mic's cutting in and out, apparently. I don't know why that is.
I think that might be on.
Yeah, I heard it.
I did not mean to do that.
Yeah, I can hear him pretty clear.
It might be my internet for all I know, guys.
Kind of being a little wonky.
Yeah, it's on your every other word keeps cutting out.
This side.
It's probably my router. I apologize. Okay, so now Ari's a big ass bear in this tiny area. Okay. Ender, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to step right there.
You're gonna
and
okay. You're gonna stand on the table.
No, I'll just stand right there.
Okay.
I didn't know if I guess because there's no gorilla, I'm going to prepare an attack, and if
All right, I'm moving us to the general check.
end of my turn.
Honey.
Hello. Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Hopefully this is better.
all right. End of my turn.
End of your turn. Are you're holding your action? You're just moving there and looking around.
Nope, I'm holding my action.
Okay, Gunthril, it is your turn. As you look around, Suddenly, Auri is a bear again. Ender has moved up and is stepping through this sticky substance which is spreading on the ground on this
apparatus?
Earth. Sorry, all I heard, Gunthro, was apparatus.
Did I see the apparatus? He said it was fired from an apparatus, or was it thrown by something?
It emerged from the top of the tree line and arced down onto the ground between you and Eli, as if thrown. And then this strange music played.
I'm gonna cast Shatter right there.
Okay. How does that work? I'm gonna go ahead and put him on the marker so you can target him directly.
Sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point of your choice within range. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered at that point must make a saving Constitution save. A creature takes 3 die thunder on a failed save or a hit. On a successful, inorganic material such as stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on the saving throw. Non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes damage if it's in the spell's area. Including the trees, I think.
How big is that? Well, the trees are organic; they're not inorganic.
It'd be a 10-foot sphere.
10-foot sphere? Okay. Good to know. At the end of the round, Ender, is Auri going to do anything else? So anyone who's holding their action, you guys lose your action unless you're going to do something now.
I'm going to move here.
Okay.
I just keep waiting.
Ender, as you move around, you can see now that the copse of trees opens up. And continues on. And there's a rather large tree ahead of you, which is stretching up almost to the ceiling. And after your spell went off, many of these trees are sort of waving and moving violently. And as they do, as you're heading forward, suddenly there is a burst of motion from above you. As you see something leaping in the green, in the dark, above, in the shade. Something leaping from one tree to another, several feet above you. And Lathana, it's your turn.
Do I see anything else?
Yes, you saw the treetops violently splay out, and then the trees began to wave back and forth and then settle where they were once before from Ender's explosion of sound. And all around you can just see that there are cracks forming in the glass to the north, to the north ahead of you a bit of ways, and also it appeared to form some cracks in the ceiling of the greenhouse above the trees.
Alright. I'm still gonna hold my action until I see something come close.
Okay, so on this new turn, you're still staying put, and holding your action where you are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Gunthro, it is your turn again.
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna... Do I see where the shadow was? Or the shape that jumped through?
You're pretty sure it's directly above you. Like, you saw it, this large form just moved. It was like a mangy, grayish fur that just sort of blur of movement several feet above you that leaped from one tree to the next.
About how high?
Appears to be at least 20 feet above you.
Right,
your best guess, staring into the tree as you saw the movement from one tree to the next.
I'm gonna go straight up 25 feet.
Okay. You're climbing the tree?
Nope, I'm flying.
Oh, you're flying. Okay. Gunthral
Bonus action, I'll be flying.
Gunthral suddenly raises up. Lithana, Ender, Auri, and Eli, wherever you were at. You suddenly see your very tall companion begin raising up in the air.
Looks like I jumped though. Or make it look
Okay.
like
You do a Super Mario jump and leap up into the air. And as you do, you suddenly see a face very slowly emerge from the trees. This big, almost like a dirty pinkish skin, and this big maw of teeth. And this creature is now roaring in your face. And I will reveal him for you. And he's hanging off the edge of the tree. As soon as I can reveal it, as soon as Fantasy Grounds decides it wants me to work it again. On the plus side, guys, I have a kick-ass router now. When that thing is working, I won't have these connection problems anymore.
Woohoo.
Oh no, don't you dare crash on me, Fantasy Grounds. There we go.
Alright, for my action, I'll cast a spell.
Okay, what spell would you like to cast on him?
See if he passes.
He fails.
He failed, he's blinded.
Oh, snap. You can throw that effect on him if you like.
Yeah, I'm on delay.
Okay.
And I will cancel my complete my action.
Okay. Eli, it is your turn. You just heard this. You heard this strange creature roaring within this greenhouse, echoing all around, and you can just see through the green. You can see what looks like a flying Gunthral, or a hovering Gunthral, I should say.
I want to move over to where that green circle is on the map.
Okay. I look forward to seeing this green circle when it appears.
Oh, you don't see it?
Nope.
Oh.
But
it is.
There might be a delay. That's okay.
It's
I'll tell you what. Why don't you tell me where you want to go, and I will guesstimate where to put you.
It's past the desk by Gunthral on the same row as Gunthral, but in the tree. You all the way to the right, hiding in the shrubbery, right here.
In the
You
shop.
see
Oh, there you are. Oh, you want to go there? Okay.
Yeah. And I'm
Alright,
gonna. Does that take my full movement, or does that take
Well,
a double move? Because I'll double move. I'm not gonna do much. I don't have anything.
I would say that it would just take your normal movement to get there, because you could very easily move around what you see to be like these tree roots and things that are erupting from the soil.
Okay, well I'm gonna watch Gunthral beat up this gorilla, or the gorilla beat up Gunthral.
Okay.
I have nothing right now.
All right.
You used your only spell to go invisible.
I have nothing. I mean, no, I'm saying I have no spell. I mean, we're supposed to subdue it. I'll kill it if I hit it.
All
I
right.
see.
Ender, it's your
I
turn.
mean, you want me to burn the whole place down? I mean, come on.
I told you, fireball.
I know.
Right in the middle of the greenhouse.
That's this whole place is going down. We'll never get invited back.
Yeah, good point. Okay, I'm just saying you don't invite us in and then sick your guard ape on us. That's very rude. If anything, he's asking for the greenhouse to get burnt down. Anyways, okay, I'm going to charge now that I see the gorilla.
Well, you don't see the gorilla. Ender sees the gorilla.
I'm going to.
You saw gorilla. You saw Gunthral rise up in the air.
How? Okay, I'm gonna run right there.
Okay.
I'm following Gunthral.
As
Who
you
do I see?
head around the corner, you see Gunthral is hovering 20 feet above you, or 25 feet, and you see a rather large creature with mangy fur, which is currently rubbing its face around its eyes up in the trees. It's sort of hanging off with one of its arms, and with its other 3 arms, 2 of them are kind of scratching its belly, and its other big arm is rubbing its face.
Huh. I guess what I could do here is I could use...
I love it when your audio cuts out. You're like, I guess I could use...
Apparently it's just your end.
Maybe.
Apparently. I don't know, though.
Let's tell you what, let me see if I... Well, I'm telling you right now, my latency is only 45 milliseconds, so it's not that bad.
Guys, am I cutting out?
Yeah, you did that.
Okay, I'm going to be rolling... I'm gonna shoot him with... Alright, so, can I shoot him with my crossbow or my longbow?
You can do
whatever it is.
Whatever you like.
And not do lethal damage?
No.
I didn't think so. The only way for me to do not lethal damage is by attacking him with...
Is to attack it with a melee weapon and say that you're not trying to kill it.
I see.
You can climb up the tree
And
and,
he's up-
and razzle him.
I'm going to start climbing up the tree.
Okay. Well, it took 15 feet to get there. There's another 10 to get to the base of the tree. He's about 20 feet up in the air, hanging off the side of the tree.
All right, that's the end of my turn. I'm 5 feet up on the tree.
Okay.
And while I'm doing so, I'm going to be trying to sneak up on him. I'm going to roll a step.
Okay.
Good. He doesn't hear me coming. Probably. It's your turn.
Okay. On Horace the Girallon's turn, he's just sort of with one hand rubbing his face, and he's just sort of looking around, and he's tilting his head this way and that way, and let's see if he notices anything. He is sort of like sniffing the air, and he's starting to putting his hands on the base of the trunk, and he's starting to move down the trunk of the tree. And as he gets close to where you are, he bumps into you and immediately goes, "Ah!" and attempts to strike at you. And just sort of like a defensive, like, which he will do so at disadvantage. Oh, I forgot. He has 5 attacks. Oh, goody. But he's also rolling at disadvantage. So, suddenly there's a blur of movement, Ender, as this creature comes scrambling down the tree. And just all of its limbs are wildly scrapping and rolling at you. I'm going to say that he lost 2 of his attacks because he's holding on to the tree still. But he will attempt to bite at you. So there's just a blur of motion as its arms are whapping at you in the face. And then finally its massive mouth opens up and you see these huge incisors as it tries to clamp down on your shoulder. You just managed to move out of the way as you're hanging off of the tree. And this creature is right in your face. At the base of the tree, almost. And what does Auri do on her bear turn?
She's going to follow up.
Okay. Massive bear begins rushing forward towards her companions. Where does she go?
I think she's going to go right there, if she can.
Okay. She's at the base of the tree with you and the creature, which is just 5 feet above. So it is within her reach. She can attack the creature if she wishes to do so.
Alright, I'd like to do that.
Entangle affect her too?
Well, it's her spell.
Let me look.
I don't think so. Also, I will drop the brown bear on you so that you have its abilities, which you will have to drag and drop onto the creature if you wish to attack it with a claw attack.
I'm assuming it would affect Ari as from walking in there, so I don't think she'd make it. I mean, that was what? That was 25 feet that she
Yes.
went. It was 15 feet down there, then another like 10 up there. So maybe she would back a little bit, right on the cusp. Would she still be able to attack Horace from there?
I'm gonna go ahead and roll that she can reach him.
Okay, cool. All right.
She's at the
and
base
you
of the
said
tree.
you gave-
They're both big creatures. I dropped the brown bear onto your sheet, so it should have popped up.
All right. So
Should have
now
popped up on your window.
attacks. The bear. Yep, I see it. The bear makes
And-
2 attacks, bite and a claw attack. All right.
Yep, and the way that works is you need to drag and drop it onto the girallon's token on the map. And that is a hit as Auri lunges forward and just slashes out with one of his arms, cutting into the mangy grayish-white fur of the creature. Immediately, and just sort of screeches from the pain of the attack, and then once again slashes with the claws. There's matted fur from the 2 slashes on its side. There's now is just a spreading of reddish fur now from the wounds. These slash marks in the side of the creature.
That was 25 damage total. I'm just saying this for the podcast that she's going to be soon listening to with her bear. I think that's the most damage she's done so far. Awesome work. Woo! Go Ari!
Okay. And at the start of the round, it is Gunthrel's turn. Gunthrel, you just watched as first Ender tried to crawl up the tree, and then from below you watched as the ape creature scrambled down the tree. It tried to attack him, and then Auri in bear form rushed forward and slashed twice against its body.
So is it only 5 feet from the ground?
It is only 5 feet from the ground.
I'm gonna come down behind it. I will come down behind it. I'm going to attempt to knock it into the entangling roots to try to get it wrapped.
Okay. So you're hovering down to its height?
I'm getting behind it, yeah.
Okay. It's currently has 2 of its arms wrapped around the trunk with its legs. Its other free arms are what we're attempting to attack Ender. So it's holding on to the tree. So in order to knock it off of the tree, you would need to make a strength athletics check against its strength athletics check.
No. Oh, good. Thought my fantasy ground was crashing.
It'd be a roll of a 17 versus a...
Okay. I will roll for Horace and see what he gets. As soon as Fantasy Grounds decides it wants to work. Okay.
Yeah, I had like a 5-second delay on my roll.
That's weird. Okay. He rolled a 16.
Alright, knock him in.
So you rip him off of the tree, and Horace falls to the ground, not taking any damage from your move. Falls into the entangled roots, begins ripping its mangy fur. The creature is sort of trying to rip itself up from the ground.
I'll move 5 foot close. That will end my turn.
Okay. Owry, it is your turn. So Owry the bear, what will Owry the bear do? Continue to slash at the creature?
Yes, she's going to try to subdue it with her claws and her teeth.
I'm pretty sure that's not subdue, that's eat.
Well, she's not going to eat it. She's going to try to not.
I don't think that Horace got a save yet for that blindness.
Yeah. Hold on. It lasts for 1 minute. Hold on.
Means I might have to re-roll that attack. Sorry about that. I'll wait.
Yeah, at the end of each of its turns. So at the end of its turn, it gets a try.
Okay. That's okay, I'll take that hit and that damage. So now that the massive fur, multi-armed and large incisors, just thrashing in the brambles which are erupting from the earth beneath it. The creature now, as it begins to pull itself up off of the ground, takes the full brunt of the attacks from Owry in bear form. And I believe you still have another attack.
Yeah, just listen.
That's a critical hit.
All right.
With that,
so
ferocious.
Remind me how to double click
all
this.
you have to do is just roll the attack. It does the math for you. Roll the damage. There you go.
Oh, good.
Just and Owry arcs down with the arm and rips one of the smaller arms off of Horace's body, and is now holding the little tinier arm in her clawed hands. This gout of blood bursts out and splatters against the tree and against Gonthral. You're now coated in this warm, thick blood. And it looks really, really hurt. It is down on one knee, attempting to push itself up with one of its larger arms. And Ender, it's your turn.
Ani's gonna be so mad at me. She's not a savage killer. What have I done? Oh no. Okay, alright, I'm going to is it subdued?
It is not subdued. It is still looks like it wants to rip out something's throat and eat it. But it is looking really, really hurt. Currently it appears to be bleeding out onto the soft brown earth.
I'm gonna hop over Gunthrow because I'm up on the tree. I'm 5 feet up in the tree.
Yep.
I'm gonna hop over him.
Okay. So as you kind of shimmy around, arms and legs wrapped around the trunk, and then just sort of flip off, make an acrobatics check.
You got it.
You leap away, do a backflip, and land a 3-point stance behind Gunthral. Rising up from the ground, you see this pool of blood as it's seeping into the soft brown earth.
I'm going to turn my sword. My sword is still like with the blunt side, and I'm going to finish this creature off, hopefully.
Okay, go for it. That is a hit. And you said you wish to do... Okay.
Non-lethal.
And you reach forth, and the creature begins to move its head forward, mouth wide open, and incisors roaring in your face. You manage to catch it in the temple, right behind its right eye, and it falls to the ground, unconscious. And you are all out of combat.
Lithana runs right up to it. She takes out her long hempen rope, ties it around his with one arm and just holds it. We should tie it up and then heal it so it's still alive.
Auri is currently holding the creature's arm and one clawed paw, looking at it, looking at its other paw, and then looking around like with this sort of like a low rumbling.
I think what she would do right away is she would turn out of bear form into human form and throw the arm away from her, like to the left or to the right, because she's
Okay.
not a savage like that.
All right. Well, in that case,
So, Lathana, you taking that thing for a walk, or were you tying it up?
I'm tying it up. Anyone else got some rope to put it around its legs?
I've got some.
Maybe we could stake it to the ground, or at least all hold it and wake it up, and then call the old guy.
as you say that, Lathana, the doors from behind you begin to open, and the older gentleman begins sort of with his silver cane in one hand. He limps forward, and he says,
"Oh, bravo! Very, very unorthodox way of subduing a girallon. But I commend you. It was well done. Horace is now going to be, of course, wanting that back."
and he gestures to Auri to the removed appendage.
All right, she's probably going to go pick it up, hand it to him, and say, "Here."
Eli, do you
Probably
continue?
apologize.
Eli, do you continue to stay invisible during this time?
No, he's gonna pop out of invisibility, kind of right behind Ari. Pretend
Okay.
like he was there the whole time.
Auri, Ender, Gunthrow, and even Lathana to a bit, you hear this audible, and suddenly Eli appears before you all.
Ari, you ripped one of its arms off?
She's gonna look savage, not say anything. She's gonna look tough.
Well done, girl. Well done. I like it.
And as you're all standing around the subdued and unconscious creature, VR sort of limps towards his workstation and to the satchel which was still hanging from the back of his chair.
Well, now that we have that all taken care of and gotten out of the way, more proper introductions. Again, I am Vior Milak. I represent an element of the King's Citadel known as the Dark Lanterns. We perform certain intelligence-related duties for King Boronel. We need adventurers of skill and action who can bring a rogue agent back to us alive, if possible. If you're willing to swear to keep secret what you're about to hear, I will tell you more.
And as he does so, he's rummaging through his satchel and he's pulling papers out and placing them on the table in front of him.
Is there anything edible in these bushes or trees?
Are you asking him that?
No, I'm looking.
Okay. Make an investigation check. And what are the rest of you doing during this time while VR is rummaging through his satchel and Gunthrow is rummaging? Gunthrow, you see what appears to be some sort of black berries, which are hanging from a bush approximately 15 feet away from you. They're about the size of your thumb. They're very, very thick, and they look plump.
I'll grab a bunch of them.
Okay. As you reach out and grab it, the surface is the skin of the fruit seems to transfer a bit of its purple hue onto your hand, and has a very sweet smell to it.
Okay, I'll eat one.
Okay, pop it
Put it in
into
the
your
bag
mouth.
here.
It has a very sweet, very sugary, natural sugary taste to it. It's as soon as it hits your tongue, it's like tart for a moment, and then it mellows out. And your tongue is a little bit numb from it, from tasting this super sweet fruit.
I think what he's saying is we could keep a secret.
Well played.
And
let's move.
Vior looks and he looks at you, Gunthro, and he says, "Oh no, you didn't." And he continues to just sort of chuckle to himself.
Go is also going to look over at him and then over at Gunny and also start chuckling like he's in on the joke, but he's not.
They taste good, don't they?
That's pretty good to me.
What did he eat?
Those are called those are called brambleberries. They're from Zindrick. They're
Are they
used in,
poisonous?
oh no, they're not poisonous. They're used in medicinal salves. That's meant for healing wounds, injuries. They numb the area around a wound. They taste delicious, but I'm afraid your friend's gonna have a problem talking for about an hour.
That's good.
And he says,
Yeah, I can take care of that if you want. I have something here in my satchel.
and he begins rummaging through the satchel and pulls out a little crystal vial. And he gestures out with his hand towards you, Gunthro.
Take a swig of that.
I'll take a swig.
Okay, it's very vinegary tasting substance that warms when it hits your throat. It's like fire for a moment, but the moment that it coats the inside of your mouth, the swelling in your tongue subsides.
Yuck! Man, that tastes horrible. He pops another fruit.
I should hope so. It's made from Horace's urine.
All right. Ender understood that joke and laughed.
So, Vior now has finished pulling papers out of his satchel and laying them on the table, and he now sits down behind the table. And he sort of expectantly looks towards you, Luthana, and then he begins gazing around, and he says,
Well, if you're ready for this information, I can begin.
Yes, very much so. What are the papers for?
I'll get to that.
Ah, okay.
Don't worry about Horace. He'll wake up, I'm sure, sometime. I'll have to reattach his arm.
and he now looks to the papers in front of him, and then he looks up again towards all of you, and he says,
"2 days ago, one of our best agents, Agent Fateweaver, disappeared. Yesterday, a high-security vault we maintained here in Sharn was compromised, and a powerful magic sword was stolen. Just before dawn this morning, Elric Fateweaver was spotted leaving Sharn by the East Road. We want you to catch him and bring him back, and the sword, if you can."
Okay.
That's it? Catch him and bring me the sword?
So, wait a minute. You wouldn't just, ask for a bunch of mercenaries to do your dirty work if there wasn't some kind of catch. So what's the catch?
Well, of course there's a catch. We're going to pay you handsomely for this task. If you can return him alive, we'll each pay you 5,000 gold. And we'll
Done.
add 1,000 gold on top of that for each of you if you can recover the sword. Now, if Elric dies, we'll pay you 2,500 gold each for proof of his passing. Either way, we need Elric back here alive or dead so that he can't betray us. The price is non-negotiable. Let's just pretend that we all haggled and you won, and these are the terms that we all arrived at. Oh, there's one other complication. Based on the eyewitness accounts and the condition of the bodies left near the vault, Elric appears to have gained powers he's never had before. Are you still interested, or are you pissing in your pants yet?
What kind of powers?
And he begins pulling papers out of his satchel. He turns and looks at you. And he says,
We aren't sure. Elric is a master of disguise, but that's a trained ability through his work in intelligence. He was able to command an otherwise loyal agent into opening the vault. And he shrugged off attacks that should have brought him down. He was also seen walking down the side of a tower just as you or I would have walked across the room. It could be the sword, but he displayed some of these powers before he got his hands on the sword.
and he's now pulling papers out of the satchel and more papers out of the satchel now. He pulls a single sheet out, which appears to be a drawing. And he says,
I'm going to go through the rest of this quickly, so please pay close attention.
and he begins to look around at each of you and meeting your gaze one at a time.
Here's a picture of Elric done by one of the king's artists. Elric is a pale-skinned male Shadar-kai elf. He's well-trained in both combat and espionage. And here's a picture of the coach that he was seen traveling in as he passed through the East Gate. These are traveling papers that will identify you as working for the King of Brayland.
And as he's speaking, he's now passing out pentagonal-shaped darkwood little packages. And he looks at all of you and he says,
We've also secured and arranged to have mage-bred horses waiting for you at the stable near the East Gate. You can consider them an additional payment. We'll settle with House Vidalis later. This here,
and he pulls out a piece of paper which is sealed with wax.
This is a letter of credit. If you run into any unanticipated expenses, you'll need to present it at any House Kundarok bank in order to cash it in and receive a cash advance. A friendly warning to you all, though, King Bornell doesn't like his gold spent frivolously, so save this letter of credit until you absolutely need it. The sword that was taken is called Sulavas. It's an orcish blade, and it has a big ruby in the pommel. Our mages say that it radiates evil, so be very careful of it. We don't know what his intentions are, but we do have a clue based on the search of his living quarters after he left. Based on some of the notes that he made, notes that he thought he had destroyed, we do know where he's going. He's going to Zalargo, specifically to Trollenport. The only other thing that we were able to salvage from those notes was the word Krell. We have no idea who or what a Krell is. But we figured that it might be important, considering he tried to destroy it. You know just about everything I know. Elric's got a head start of several hours on all of you now. Do you have any questions before you leave?
Yes. Isn't he better dead than alive?
That, of course, depends on your point of view. Elric was a very important member of the Dark Lanterns. In our business, the information is the most valuable commodity. We need to know what he knows, what he's told, to whom, and who he's working for now. Otherwise, the same thing could happen again. But of course, dead is better than in enemy hands.
Okay. I mean, I see your valid reason of why the gold cut if he's dead, but I Figured you'd want him dead more than alive, but we'll work with it, I guess.
And he
Kind of goes and opens the door.
he continues to look around at all of you expectantly, waiting to see if you have more questions.
What's something distinguishable about this Elric? Besides his appearance, of course. Something that only he would do. A personality trait or a limp or a scar or something like that.
He is a master. He is a master of disguise, after all.
I can't speak to Elric's methods currently. He changes all the time. That's why he's so damn good at what he does. I can tell you a bit about his allies, if you will, friends and enemies. That might assist you. If you like.
Sure.
Elric had a lover. Her name was Rosalind de Volsa. We've been looking for her all morning, but we still haven't found her yet. She's a very striking young human woman with long red hair. As far as enemies are concerned, you can start with anyone from the intelligence community, really. Other nations, criminal organizations, the other dragon-marked houses. Just about every other power group has some sort of intelligence network it relies on, and Elric has interfered with them all. There are a lot of people who want him dead or working for their side. There was one other thing. Elric had a sister called Vivette that worked for the Serpentine Table. She apparently died during the Eberron incident several months ago. Elric was understandably devastated. Not many of his fellow agents even knew that he had any family left, because he had never mentioned her until he asked for a leave of absence to care for her funeral arrangements.
So he had a sister that died and he goes crazy? Very shortly after? Seems kind of a little coincidence. Didn't seem too much.
Weak-minded fool. Oh, sorry, I did say that.
And his lover, does she live here in town?
Most of what I know about Rosalind is that she was a bit of a wild individual. Didn't really have roots anywhere to speak of, but she moved around the town. She was here whenever Elric was around. They were seen together quite a bit. Although in the past few months, since he took his leave of absence and he has been gone, his betrayal was the first that we'd seen or heard of him. I have no doubt she would be a good place to start.
Where was she seen last?
To be honest, we haven't seen her and Sean. We've put out our feelers, but you have to understand. Elric was a trusted agent before all of this started. Before all this happened. And we have no idea of knowing whether Elric has turned allies within the Citadel. Especially after that business 4 months ago. I can't send my own people to even look for her. I'm the only member of the Dark Lanterns that I trust. We could handle one scandal within the King's Citadel. But another? So quickly? No. This can only be handled by an outside element. Time is against us. That's why I've turned to you. If you wish to seek her out, you must do so on your own accord.
Now, do any of these names ring a bell with Lithana, Vivette, Rosalind, Elric? Since you knowing her connections with criminal organizations and that sort.
You can make an intelligence check to see if you remember anything.
Okay.
Gunthrow, I assume, has left the building completely.
Nope. She remembers nothing.
If they weren't falling, he's just sitting at the bottom of the steps resting.
Okay. You can hear the raspy sound of Vior as he continues to rattle off information. Ender, what are you doing?
I'm sitting here trying to pay attention and follow. There's a lot of information that was thrown our way about some account, and
Oh, that's right. Your note taker isn't here tonight.
she's not. There's lots of details about accounting. I hope that Eli is paying attention to all those details. He is our financial advisor, after all, our accountant.
Oh yes, yes, he is paying attention.
Good. I'm just sitting here, not doing anything particular. I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't get to actually use my blade yet. I had to subdue that guy with the blunt side, and I'm pretty impressed with the blunt side. So
I think it's time to head out. What do you guys say?
Yes, we need to make a plan. We need to talk.
We could find the girl first and use her as bait to draw him out.
is that how we do things? We use people as bait.
Yeah?
He is a rogue agent. I mean, unless you have a better idea.
How do we know he didn't kill his sister?
That is true. We don't.
We don't, but really we need some more information.
You all received 220 XP for that encounter with Horace.
I mean, right now, all we know is he could look like anyone, and we know where he's going. We can follow the path he's ahead. We really need some more information to get to talk, I think.
I think you're both right. I think we have to go start with his lover. My vote is not to use her as bait, but at least to use her as to gather information.
And VR sort of speaks up.
Keep in mind, we haven't seen her for quite some time, so she may not even be here in Sharn.
Or she could be dead. Maybe he killed her. I wonder if I can talk to some of my connections.
Whatever we decide to do, we should decide quick and get on the road. Lathana, how long do you need to contact your contacts?
Well, like I said, this is supposed to be secrets, and they could go after him and try to take him as well, so I guess we're kind of on a...
I suppose we could follow his trail and look for clues. I mean, we have one thing that we could be doing. This lover, we're not sure where she is. She could also be with him. And if she's with him, we have two descriptions that we can search for them on the trail. Hopefully we see clues.
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Rosalind, did she have any hobbies or work anywhere or live anywhere to start out with?
I don't know much about Rosalind other than the fact that she was with Elric, and a romantic entanglement, if you will.
Well, want to start scouting out some local pubs and see if they've seen them?
I will say that, searching for Rosalind, I will tell you how to do your business in this task. But Elric already has many hours ahead of you. So if you wish to chase him down and travel to the location that we're fairly certain he's heading to, it might be a good place to start where he's going.
Which was what place again?
I don't know. Note taker, do you remember what he said?
Started with a Z. Zendaya? Nope, that's an actress.
If that was directed towards me, I am horrible with names, and I have not been taking any notes. I know I'm subbing for Ani tonight, but I did not do that part. So, dear Eli, did you take those notes?
Well, see, I'm a terrible rememberer in real life, but Eli has a eidetic memory.
And Eli would have remembered that Vior mentioned that Elric had mentioned going to Trollenport, which is in Zalargo.
Trollenport and Zalargo. Alright, someone write that down.
I think the eidetic memory guy should.
I think it's time to go, everybody.
That was meant to be a G. I did not mishear anyone.
Trollenports in Zalarfo.
Zalarfin?
Zalarfinar.
Zalarfinar.
I think the half orc should be the note taker. Everything will have a twist of dumb.
Yes, please.
All written in crayon. And then
Eli,
the party and I went to Zalarfo.
Eli would also remember, since everyone else in the group wasn't paying attention, the VR mentioned that they purchased mage-bred horses for all 5 of you.
No, I know. I remember
Okay.
the horses are waiting at the gate.
Yep.
No, I
they
know.
wait-
It
wait at
had
the
a dollar
gate.
value in front of it.
And they're basically ours.
Yeah. And we have
Yeah,
a line
they're-
of credit. No, I know.
No,
Like
you
I
guys.
said, it's just hard to understand that the port. There's so many names and stuff. So
Well, that's the thing with D&D, man.
5,000
Yeah.
alive, 2,500 dead, free horses.
yeah. Oh, and a lot of credit, guys. We got credit cards from the king. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
I just hope one of the horses can fit me.
And how we're not supposed to use our line of credit until we're desperate. Because he hates seeing us
Oh, it's
spoil
an
our line of
emergency
credit.
already. Yeah.
Good,
Yeah,
good, good.
That tab at the bar was definitely an emergency. Yeah. Alright, guys, I think it's time to head out. What do you guys say?
I agree.
Head to the horses?
I'm going to ask one last question. I'm going to ask him if he has any supplies that he can donate to our cause.
He looks at you, Ender, and he says, "A line of credit from the King of from King Borinel wasn't enough." And he's now standing up, a bit of anger in his voice now, and he's saying, "Don't you all have a job to do? If you want to get paid, you have to finish it. Now be off with
Whenever
you.
I try to negotiate, and I'm going to walk away.
I have to reattach Horace's arm."
Yeah, or
Alright, let's go. let's get the horses, and do we need to get any?
I could use another sword.
That is true. Have we not bought anything? Anything else, I guess, needs bought before we head out?
Should we get some kind of sleeping potion or sleeping spell or something?
That's a good point for when we do find this man. Alaric, I think his name was.
Who would like the letter of credit?
Eli
I think
will
it's
pack
best
that
if
and put
Ender
it in the
uses
bag.
it. Ender will hold on to it.
Oh, Ender was barely listening. Eli will take that and put it in his bag of holding, or his pocket of holding.
Excuse me. Ender was listening. Just Ender was not comprehending.
Yeah,
All right, buddy?
I'll tell you what. Both of you roll a d20 to see who is faster.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my samurai skill and gain
Try to keep it out of
advantage.
both of her hand. I'd run back up the stairs after that.
Okay. Godfrey currently has the letter of credit.
Well,
You guys
hold
are
on.
start
He
reaching
was
for it. I reach in.
hold on. He was sitting down
You
at the
guys
stairs
spin
sleeping.
first.
Hold on.
You
He was
spin
sitting
through.
downstairs sleeping.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Gunther, you walk up around the corner as Eli grabs the letter of credit and is about to shove it in his bag of holding.
I pickpocket out of his hand.
Hold on. Oh, this is
Declare pickpockets.
this is the thing about the King's Citadel. That it's my name recognition, and I put it. This isn't the letter of credit.
Yeah, it is. I'm not done reading.
I'm imagining like in middle school where like the bigger kid is holding the paper above the little kid's head, and then an even bigger kid comes along and grabs it out of his hand.
I cast invisibility and.
I'll tell you what.
He's not casting
Run around with
fireball.
it. Yeah.
We will settle this the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna drop
But
it in the party inventory, and whoever's fast enough can get it.
But to be fair, he was sleeping.
3, 2, 1, go.
Lithana's over here eating popcorn.
My fantasy grounds is glitched now.
Who got it? Eli? Dang it.
That was fast, Eli. Fast hands.
He slowly sits in. Gunther. Oh, nice to see you. You back now, Gunther?
All right.
Bait will pick him up and shake his upside down.
Oh, you too slow.
Let's just not forget that Gunther could probably beat the shit out of Eli and just take it from him.
I'm gonna cast a spell and I want my hand around your throat.
Are we heading out?
That's a good
Ender's
question.
ready.
That's a good question. What are you all doing?
I hold on to 2 votes. Ari and Ender are ready.
Yep.
Okay.
Eli's ready.
I've been outside already.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see? Let's go.
One by one, you exit out of yours greenhouse, and as you exit out of the greenhouse, the double doors close behind you all, and you just hear the raspy sound of the man as you're all beginning to head around the corner down the stairs and descend the spiral staircase, and you just hear him saying,
Good luck. You'll certainly need it.
and the doors clack shut behind you.
That was a little bit ominous.
So, are we going to buy anything before we head off, or better be quick if we...
I don't need anything. I'm ready. Did you want to find that leather armor before we go?
No, I'm alright. Lithana, thinking in her head, does she know whether she can add sleeping potion to her arrows tips? Can she?
A sleeping potion?
Yeah, can she like add it like kind of like poisonous darts, but with sleeping potion?
You're referring to being able to coat her weapons. Does she have proficiency in a poisoner's kit? Or does she have proficiency with alchemy, an alchemist kit, or an herbalism kit?
Nope.
Yeah, so unfortunately, she would know that sort of type of thing exists. That would be common knowledge for someone of her type, in terms of being a ranger, moving around in the wilds. But she personally has never attempted to create, craft, or attempt to coat a weapon with that sort of substance.
Does anyone know how to do that type of?
Let me look at Ari's characters stuff. Yeah, Ari does have an herbalism kit. She's proficient. I suppose she might know. She might have some nature knowledge of maybe a possible plant that you could apply to the end of a arrow tip. I doubt she'd have much knowledge on that, to be honest. It doesn't seem like her forte. She's pretty much a It's hard for me to say. I don't know.
Mr. DM.
Yes.
What could she do with that?
I mean,
she does have.
You could try to hunt down somebody who makes potions.
Okay, so like Ari couldn't really do too much.
Well, it would require Auri, first of all, to craft the potion for you. And it would require her to do that in her downtime. So it's not something that she would be able to make for you immediately. It would take her some time to, first of all, figure out if she can do it. And that would be a skill check for her to see if she could actually create it.
Do you want me to skill check roll that, or?
It's gonna take time too.
Yeah, it's gonna take too long. Gunny, Ari, Eli, do you need to buy anything ready?
Yes. Is there a magic store close by? Like a mage store? I need to visit the mage store.
Roll for mage store.
I got this. That was a roll for the mage store. Ender's very proficient in mage stores.
So right now you're in Ocean View. I will throw up a map for you guys.
It's time for... This is going to be Ender bringing Eli out for shopping now in the mage store.
Yeah.
It just rolls completely reversed, except I'm going to be way more dumber sounding than Eli was. I'm just going to be like... Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not playing that out. Because it doesn't make sense. And I don't want Ender to be a joke.
I just need to stop by very quickly.
Here is where you are guys now. You'll notice the little green pin on the map.
Okay.
You're in the wealthy residential neighborhood of Upper Tavig's Landing called Ocean View. You're currently at the base of Myriad Tower.
Heck yeah, that's where we're at.
Fine shops. Close by to fine shops.
Where was the girlfriend?
She was a nomad, living all over. Seen with him occasionally. But he couldn't give us a last known.
And we need to get to Trollen Port.
And they have provided you with 5 steeds, which are being held near Roan's Gate, which is Lower Tavik's Landing.
So, is a mage shop close by? Can we swing by there before we go, or is it far?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you could always consort your handy daddy. Oh, do you even have one of those? Do you have an Atlas slate?
No.
No? You could go buy one for 2 silver.
Yeah, probably be handy.
You know, or you could just ask for directions.
We're men.
Not Eli.
So,
Shut up.
I tell you what, Eli, make a perception check.
This sucks. 11.
Okay. So beyond the base of Myriad Tower, I should mention that beggar that was in the alcove is still there, and he's holding out that clay bowl that you saw before. Beyond that, you look out, you can just see the crowd milling about within this section of Ocean View. It's a lot of very finely dressed individuals, not a whole lot of riffraff from what you can tell in this area. And the crowds are not like super diverse and thick. You do see what appears to be a communications hub, which is sticking up like a little bitty post out of the ground. What appears to be sitting next to a Sharn Inquisitive distribution stand. And you can see a little gnome who's currently standing on top of the counter behind. There's a few individuals around the counter of this little cart. And he is currently selling copies of the Sharn Inquisitive to individuals at the cart.
I'll walk up to him. Do you know where a mage store is?
I just love it, like, do you know where a mage store is?
Say Emporium next time. Emporium sounds way smarter.
Emporium store?
No.
The little gnome who is helping a very nicely dressed gentleman with a large bushy mustache and a top hat. He says, "There you go, sir. Enjoy your paper. You there? What do you want?" And he gestures towards you, Eli.
I'm looking for a mage store.
A mage store? Do I look like a directory to you?
And he points over to the little post at the side.
That's what you want right there. The Castellanta Corporation put those all over the city. If you want an Atlas slate, you can go ahead and get one there if you can afford it. Now be gone with you.
I'll head over there.
Okay. The podium appears to be colored a very deep crimson color. And it appears to have some sort of a screen in front of it. Very similar to an Atlas slate, which you've seen before in your travels. Folks around the city carrying them around. Sort of use them like a device. It's essentially something distributed to tourists, folks who come into the city, who need to get around the city easier. And you can see that there on the side of the machine, there's what appears to be a coin slot. And at the bottom, there's a little trap door at the base of the podium. And you can see on the front of the view screen in front of this podium, as you walk up, a 3-dimensional image of a very finely dressed half-elven man who says, "Greetings. Welcome to the Castellanta Corp Distribution Hub.
If you wish to purchase an Atlas slate, you may do so for 2 silver sovereigns. Please deposit your sovereigns into the coin slot. And he gestures, this little 3-dimensional man gestures to the coin slot. This also appears to be the same man that you saw on the view screen within the tap room.
I'll put 2 silver in.
And as you drop the coins in, you can hear that the click sound as the sovereigns slip into the coin slot and land it somewhere inside. And you hear this little chiming noise. And the man now, the image shifts a bit and it says, "Thank you. Please enjoy our Atlas slate." And there is a sound of like a thump. And a hollow noise rings out as something lands into behind the trapdoor below.
I'll pick it up. Can I open the trapdoor and grab it?
Okay. As you open the trapdoor, you push it open. It's on a little bit of a hinge. And you can see now there is a beautiful sorewood box. And the sorewood box appears to have various sigils that are sort of burnt into the cover of the box. And the box is sealed shut with some sort of a twine.
I'll grab the box and I'll undo it.
Okay. As you undo the twine and the twine goes flying off and you open up the darkwood box, you can see within now this 5x7 piece of crystal. And it has the dark green and gold accents. As you're standing in bright light, the screen itself appears to be green and illuminated. And there's this sort of like a strange milky green texture to the crystal.
Have I used one before? Do I know how to use one?
There's actually a piece of pentagonal parchment which is laying over the top of the screen. It sort of just says, "Welcome. Thank you for purchasing your Atlas slate. Produced and distributed by the Castellaner Corporation. We hope you enjoy your new device. Please take care of it. It is not indestructible. It is waterproof and fireproof, but it is made of crystal, and it cannot take a bludgeoning blow of too much bludgeoning blow or dropping the device can lead to cracks in the crystal." And then it says in a very small type, says, "Please visit one of our many stores if you wish to purchase a case for your device."
I'll rip off that. No, not a device.
Okay. As you reach down and touch the Atlas slate, it begins to warm to your touch. And it almost as if it sensed your presence. There's a greeting on the front of the crystal that erupts, and it says, "Welcome, Eli." And then that image fizzles away, and now you see the topographical map of Sharn. And you can see now that it gives you a directional position of where you are currently standing within Ocean View.
Man, this is pretty cool.
And I will drop that into your inventory, sir.
I will look for the nearest magic store, I guess. A mage,
Okay.
Mage store.
Before you even speak or say anything at all, as you're looking at the device, you are suddenly seeing all these different places that are erupting, little scrollwork that are erupting all around the city. In the current level that you are within the upper levels of the city, you can see that there is a place within Upper Tavix Landing called Silvergate, which has patronage for many individuals seeking weapons, armor, supplies, essentially everything an adventurer could possibly want within that area. You also know that from the information that you asked before, there's also 7th Tower, which you were in before.
Okay.
And
can I go to 7th Tower?
okay.
Let's go. I think we should go to 7th Tower.
Okay.
I'll click
There
on it.
was also Platinum Heights, which is
a little bit further away. That's up in Upper Central Plateau, which is near the bank, the financial district. It's close to Kornoth Bank, actually.
Anyone else need anything? Anyone need armor, weapons before we head out? I can tell you where it is.
I think we better just get what you need and then go. We are already behind.
All right. Let's go to the 7th tower.
Okay.
Are we going to roll?
As you are
Yeah, we go together.
As you are beginning to, as you're getting your bearings and you're trying to figure out where you're going to go, you see a couple of gentlemen who are now moving closer to where you are as you're standing next to this gnome's, the Sharn Inquisitive, the communication hub and the Sharn Inquisitive cart. You see a couple of individuals now who appear to be wearing the vestments of the Watch. And as they begin to approach all 5 of you, one of them, a taller man, speaks up and he says, "Oi! You 5! Stay right where you are!" And this very tall, thick, muscular man wearing this grayish-colored overcoat, and he has a sort of a cudgel at his side, which is swinging, and he's wearing a cap. And he takes his cap off and he puts it and he hooks it underneath his arm and he says, "You folk look like dangerous folk, and you're traveling around in Upper Tavik's Landing with weapons in plain view. You must have a license to carry weapons in this area of the city. Otherwise, I'll be forced to fine all 5 of you. This will be your only warning. You can obtain a license in 12 pillars, and it costs 5 gold.
Excuse me, sir. We actually work for the king.
Oh, that's funny. I haven't heard that at all day. Is that so?"
Yeah.
Hey, Eli. Don't you dare to pull out the credit. Don't you dare. She whispers this to him.
Well, the credit
Flash
is
it, flash it.
the credit is for the bank. It's like a credit card. No, you guys do have. You guys each have. You guys have paperwork that proves.
Yeah, that's
that
what I'm saying.
Flash it, flash it.
Flash the badge. Flash
he's
the
gonna pull
badge,
out the
Eli. Do
paperwork.
it. Do it. Flash it.
Pulls out of the paperwork. We work for the king. We're an important business. We'd rather not be bothered. Thank you.
I'll tell you what. Make a persuasion check with advantage since you have your papers with you.
Tell him to tell you where.
He looks at the paper and he reaches for it and he says, "May I see it?"
Yep, here you go.
And
We're in
he
a bit
takes-
of a hurry.
"Oh, fuck off. Everyone's in a hurry." And he takes the paper out of your hand and he looks at it.
Not everybody works for the king.
And he begins to look at the paper and he's nodding his head. It seems to be in order.
Yep, it is.
Keep in mind, that doesn't give you the ability to walk around with your weapons in full display. This just keeps me from throwing your ass in jail. And he hands the piece of paper back. If you want to keep walking around in the upper levels of Tavik's Landing, you need to have a license if you're going to carry weapons openly. So, I suggest you go to the courthouse in 12 Pillars and purchase a license. Otherwise, you're going to have to keep pulling out that paper. And eventually, something might happen to that piece of paper. It might get torn. The seal might fall off. We don't know. These are dangerous times we live in, friend.
You're right. Maybe the king will find out who you are. What was your name? And we'll let him know our troubles.
And he's now striding up to you, and he is flipping off the little leather piece that is holding his cudgel to his side. And the other one, the shorter gentleman, who is of dwarven stature, is now pulling his cudgel out. And he says,
"Gosh, dang it.
Listen here, you little fuck.
Hit him,
I don't-
hit him.
I don't care what you have. I don't care what that piece of paper says. You can't carry weapons in this area. This is an area for finer folk, not people like you. Adventurer types, mercenary types, coming up here. You spend your gold in the city. It's lovely for the taxpayers of the city. Excellent. But you walk around and you make the other folk who live in this area nervous. You understand?
You do realize I am a noble. I do live.
What he means is we are in a very big hurry. We don't mean to be rude, but really, we will get this permit and be out of your hair. Thank you so much. Go.
I suggest you listen to your pretty friend over there.
And she just flashes this very, like, beautiful, endearing smile.
I will be talking to the king directly about this. Let's go.
I grab the nobleman that's talking right now by the collar and just start dragging him away. Come here, little.
And she looks back at the group, and her endearing smile just looks really bold. Alright, let's get to the maid shop and get this bird.
As you're all walking away, the gentleman who is wearing the taller gentleman who was staring at Eli and had his cudgel out, he's now putting his cudgel down and he's pulling out a notebook, and he's saying to the shorter dwarven man, "Did you get that one's name? Eli something. Well, they keeping our eyes on you, friend." And the two gentlemen now begin to continue on their business, walking down the streets near Myriad Tower, away from all of you.
You know, Eli, you really got to learn when to pick a fight and when to just let it go. That's why I've been alive so long.
Trust me, I was fine. He shouldn't be doing that. It's against the law. We work for the king.
Lethana slaps him in the face.
Do a roll for an attack.
Okay.
That's an unarmed strike.
Yep.
Roll a strength attack plus your strength modifier.
19.
Hey.
Shield.
Are you really gonna waste shield on this?
No.
Alright.
That'll be funny.
Okay. Well, that's up to you. You're the one who's got no spell slots.
And she's just like, you got to learn. Otherwise, you're going to all get us in trouble.
Do you actually cast the spell to block
No.
her attack? Okay, good, because something else was gonna happen.
Alright. Double time.
Let's not wait too long here. Let's get you to the Emporium and wait. We have horses, right?
In Lower Dulra? It's not near-
Lower Tavik's Landing near Roan's Gate.
Oh. So that's not nearby, right?
It's 2 levels below you, and to the north. So it's about a 35-minute flight or a couple of hour walk to get there.
And how far is the maid show?
You're wanting to go to 7th Towers?
Is that where you want to go?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you could cross over to that district. It would take about 45 minutes to walk there.
Are the horses close by?
The horses are they're 2 hours away via your own 2 feet, or about a 30-35 minute walk. I'm sorry, it's actually an hour and a half to walk to 7th Towers. I apologize.
We should probably take a cab. A sky coach would be nice.
If you remember, Eli, the 7th tower is where you all purchased Ender's brand new weapon.
With the 2 mages, the 2 magic shops. The one was BS.
Sky Coach just starts kind of waving her hand.
Okay.
So you didn't get anything earlier? You're going to go back to where we did?
I didn't realize the mission, what it was, so that's why.
Yeah, they went shopping before they went to find out why they were being summoned.
Yeah, it wasn't the smartest option.
That's okay. Hey, Ender got a sword.
Nah, that's true.
He got a pretty cool sword,
did.
actually. All right.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
I keep hearing meowing in the background.
You keep
I
hearing
think.
yelling in the background?
No, meowing.
Oh,
Like a
meowing.
cat. Is that from the audio box?
It might be. So I heard Lathana calling out for a taxi cab.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So after a couple of minutes of waving your arms around, Lathana, you see a very odd looking flying device. It kind of looks like 2 rowboats that are strapped together, and it begins to descend down towards you, and it has a weird looking sail that's stuck up between the 2 rowboat like devices. And as it flies down, you see a gentleman who is approximately 2.5 feet tall with scaly skin, and he looks at all of you and he says,
"Oh, customers, hello. Welcome to my skyship."
and he lands the vehicle not too far away from where you're all standing within the square around Myriad Tower. And he now gestures to you.
"Please, welcome aboard. What can I do for you? Where can I take you today?"
We'd like to go to the 7th tower.
7th tower. Oh, a lovely place. I can get you there in a jiffy.
And this little kobold, he's wearing sort of a ruffled collared shirt. And it's sort of a silky cream color. And he gestures towards,
"Please, I have plenty of seating, especially for one of your stature."
and he gestures towards Gunthral.
"Please have a seat, my friends.
How much?
2 silver. That is all."
And he pulls out this little badge and he shows it to you with the sigil of House Lorandar.
"I'm on the up and up."
Yes, I'm from House of Leandar as well.
All right, everyone, get in. We
Oh,
will.
a nobleman. My
Yes.
goodness, sir, where are my manners?
And he very quickly bows and prostrates himself as if it, and he takes his badge and he pins it to his shirt, and he comes forward. He says,
"Oh, please, sir, this is be no charge whatsoever. Please, your money is no good here.
I appreciate that. Thank you, friend.
As long as you put in a good word for me."
I will.
"My name is Knuckles. Knuckles Levi Dawson.
Knuckles Levi Dawson.
Dawson. D-O-O. Gosh, how is that spelled again? S-U-U. The name was given to me."
He pulls out his book and he writes it down. Into his book.
And as he's writing in the book, Lithana just pushes him into the Sky Coach. Come on, let's go.
"Was there anything else that you'd like to do today? Anywhere you'd like to go? I'd be happy to take you anywhere you wish."
Yes, to the east gate after we finish shopping.
"Oh, East Gate? Do you
Yes.
mean Do you mean Roan's Gate, the terminus station? Oh, of course, I can take you there, no problem.
And after everyone gets aboard the vehicle, it sort of like bows a little bit as you all step in. And the little kobold now stands on a platform that is on a flat surface that's between the two catamaran-style skyship. And he reaches forward and grabs this control yoke, pulls back, and he says,
Hold on now! This won't take long at all!
And the ship launches into the air at an accelerated rate of speed, and you watch as the sail now splits in two and turns into wings and solidifies now and moves backwards in sort of an arrow configuration, and the wings begin to glow and shimmer. And you're all just feeling this immediate acceleration as these little lap belts pop up and wrap over your midsection and pull you down close to this catamaran-style skyship.
Very cool.
And you're pointed northwest, away from Ocean View, away from Myriad Tower, pulling up in the air. You can see now that in midday, just beyond midday now, the sun is high in the sky, and you can see off in the distance more ships that are milling about, flying off. You can see off to the north the tower within which the House Lorandar tower, which is located, and you can see a massive elemental airship which is currently docked there. And then you can see a one that's not quite as big, which is docked on the other side. And after a few minutes, you arc down into the 7th Tower area, this familiar area, that has a prominent architectural feature, which is the 7th Tower itself, which is just rows and rows of shops. And you can see the book dealers and the antiquity shops that line this level of the tower.
All right, here we are, my friends. 7th Tower. You said you wished to hire me on for another trip, yes?
Yes. It will only take a second.
Okay, I'll wait right here.
Thank you. You guys want to come with me, or you want me to run in real fast and get what I need?
I'll stay in the cab.
I'll go with.
Okay. What about you, Gunther?
I'll go in.
Okay. We'll say that for all intents and purposes, Auri's going to stay behind and keep Lithana company. So the three of you are now heading down walking between the bridge that encompasses the outer edge of 7th Tower and stretches off and connects to all the other towers within the 7th Tower area, this district. And do you wish to head back to a place that you've been before, the ones you mentioned before, Eli, or did you want to try another place?
I want to find a mage shop, like a mage that has like spell scrolls.
Okay. Pulling out your Atlas Slate, if you wish, and focusing on 7th Tower, you find a listing for a shop, a place that is called the Manifest Zone. It appears to be a place that offers that sells all of the needs that a magic user, whether it be a wizard or a sorcerer, would need.
The Manifest Zone.
It's actually not too far away from where you are now.
All right, let's go, guys, and I start walking very fast to the Manifest Zone.
Okay. As you're walking through this area, you can see many robed individuals wearing different shade colors of robes who are carrying around armloads of scrolls and books. They seem to be hustling away from 7th Tower off to the east, taking the large bridges that connect the different towers. And after a short period of time, you're able to come across this large shop which is nestled into the eastern section of 7th Tower. and you can see several of these robed individuals who are exiting the shop. And the shop itself seems to be very busy. It's bustling with traffic at this time of day.
I head in.
Okay. And as you enter into the shop, it is absolutely filled with people. It is very busy. And you can see a couple of individuals who are currently moving about. You see a very large warforge who is standing next to the counter, and he has his arms crossed. And he has sort of a blackened, dark, almost obsidian texture to him. And one side of his face is currently, looks like it's obscured with some sort of a mask. And he's just standing there with his arms folded, and he has like this deep blue tabard that goes over the front of his chest down. And he's just standing there. And you can see from behind the counter, you see a very wild-haired and rail-thin older man who is currently checking out a very skinny elven woman. He says,
Oh, this is very, very, very wonderful ink. I just obtained it last week. It's wonderful stuff. Perfect for your spell, your incantations, the writing in your books. And please do send word to the university. I haven't been there in quite some time, but please tell my friend Borir that I will see him next week, whenever I can get away from the shop. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, hello, friends. Welcome to my shop. What can I do for you today?
Hi, yes, I'm looking for a spell scroll that I can add into my wizard collection.
A spell scroll. Are you looking for one in particular?
Yes, the sleep spell.
A sleep spell. Well, let's see if I have something of that variety. Let me take a look real quick. Let's see.
and he begins looking around the his books, his ledgers from behind the counter, and he pulls out a book, and he's looking through his inventory. He says,
Ah, yes, I think I do have something of that nature. The sleep spell. Yes. You just wanted the one scroll, yes?
Yes, I'll add it into my book. I'll copy it in myself.
Okay. Well, did you just want to buy the scroll, or did you want to just copy it into your book? Because I offer both of those services.
Oh, you do? Oh,
yes, I
nice.
can. For only 25 gold, you can copy the spell into your book. Or if you wish to have a scroll of the spell, that'll cost you 50 gold.
And I pull out my spell shard. I hand it to him. I'll just copy the spell into this.
and he looks at your spell shard, and he looks at his.
Well, of course, you would know that a wizard must copy his own spells.
And he very gingerly hands it back to you and winks at you. And
yes.
he then turns around and he pulls out a very thick tome, and he places it on the counter in it with a thump, and then he opens it up and he begins thumbing through the pages, and he now points to a page.
Right here, my friend.
And you watch as these gold filigreed symbols now begin to appear on the page and almost hover like about 4 centimeters off of the vellum paper.
Please take all the time that you need, and I will attend to your friends that came in with you. My friend.
And he now points to the much taller man. He was moving his eyes over from you, Eli, and he realizes he now has to crane his neck up a little bit, and he looks at you.
Oh my! My friend! Very impressive. I love your armor. I love the work. Where did you get that done?
And he's now staring at you, Gunthral.
Found it.
You found it? Oh, that is a mighty gift to be carrying around something of that quality. So what can I do for you today?
I'm looking for a little thing that you can throw that like spreads out and what's that thing called? Where you throw a rope and you got the 2 balls on the end of it.
Oh, it's like a magical weapon. A bolus, I believe that is called.
Yeah, the bolas.
Well, I don't really sell weapons here. I more cater to those who need to purchase spells. I do offer some. I could sell paper for transcribing spell scrolls. But I can point you in the direction of a man who sells weapons, and perhaps he has what you're looking for.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm good.
Okay. And he now turns his attention to you, Ender. My friend! Oh, a half-orc. A samurai, no doubt. Oh, I recognize that armor. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. I am no interest of anything here at this time.
No? Oh, very well. Well, if there's nothing at all, I will finish the transaction with your friend here. What did you say that your name was again?
Ender.
Ender. Pleasure to meet you, Ender. It's always a pleasure to meet a half-orc. What brings you to Sharn?
Work.
Work, you say? Oh, intriguing. I can honestly say that I haven't seen a samurai in this region in decades. It's very curious.
No, there's not many of us.
Indeed. He then turns to Eli, just checking, making sure that he's finished or finishing up.
Yes, I have a question. Do you have the hold person as well?
Hold person, you say?
Yes.
I believe that I do. That one's a little bit more. I will run you a bit more, my friend, of course. I believe...
Of course.
And he's looking through his ledger now. Yes, I do have that. And he pulls out another book and sets it down. This one will run you 50 gold.
No problem. I'll pay the 50. And
Okay.
one more question.
Yes, of course.
You happen to have the spell?
I'm sorry, it is so loud in here, my friend. Could you repeat that for me?
Do you happen to have the haste spell?
Haste? I think so. Give me a moment. And he turns around now. And as you're looking the end of the counter, the tall warforged man with the blackened skin now, he's looking at you. And he just sort of meets your gaze as you turn and look, and then he looks away. And the man now comes back to you, and he pulls out yet another tome and sets it on the table over the others, and he says, "Right here, that'll be 75 gold, my friend."
All right, and I pay him.
Was that all you needed? I do have other customers behind you. And as you turn and look at Eli, there are about 8 people who are now tapping their foot, and one guy is shaking his head, and he's just mumbling, "You motherfucker, you hurry the fuck up right now."
Yes, do you have the slow spell?
And as soon as you say that, like 3 of the people go, "Oh, come on!"
Hey man, I'm trying to suit up for this quest.
You don't need the slow spell. You're already slowing everything the fuck down now. And the man just sort of goes and hisses and like silences the people behind you, and he says, "Yes, my friend, of course." That'll be another 70. That'll be my manners. That would be another 75 gold. Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you. And he kind of like moves aside quickly. I'm good.
And as you do, there are 2 individuals who are immediately behind you get pushed aside, and the 3rd individual now rushes forth, has a short sword drawn, and is getting ready to stab you in the throat. And that is where we're going to end for tonight.
Wow.
Well, Nori, one day you're going to wake up in the morning and, Gunny's just going to be curled up with you on a low ball.
Aw.
No,
That's adorable.
That's not happening. That's called
Don't make it-
arcane lock.
Don't make it sexual. It could just be wholesome cuddling.
Exactly. Come on.
It's just cold outside.
It's just chilly. We're just comrades here.
And don't worry, that's not the handle of my battle axe.
Okay, well, it just got creepy. Good work.